Right, boys, we are back with YouTube. We've got a push day today. Just a normal push walkthrough. Just going to run you through my push session. A little update on myself. Last video was about 2 weeks ago. This is the first video of 2025 now. So hopefully you've had a good New Year, good Christmas. Hopefully you had enjoyed the holidays. I did too. We'll go over an update on myself, kind of where I'm at right now. After the push session, we'll do some posing as well and kind of talk over where I'm at pretty much, and the plans for prep as well, what shows I'm doing, etc. That'll be a YouTube exclusive for the boys. Just had my check-in there, done all my client check-ins done as well. We've got some steps to do, make pre-meal, get ready, then we'll head to the gym. So kind of wanted to discuss a topic that I have been thinking about and definitely taken into my kind of process, we shall say, and it is there's more to life than bodybuilding and the gym, and that comes from a person whose job, passion is literally this, is bodybuilding, as a gym, and I'm super grateful for that. But definitely something that I realised lately, like especially in between this phase of pre-prep and prep, I've been saying like yes to a lot more things. I've had the luxury of having a little bit more freedom to my routine at times when available, and that's something I've definitely realised and definitely made the mistake of in the past, especially when I started to get into bodybuilding. I definitely allowed it to take away from my life, and for example kind of past relationships I had with people that I don't have anymore, and I definitely blamed that on bodybuilding. But that's the kind of thing you see on social media as well, like when people kind of have a shit prep, or you know, something happens in their life and they blame it on bodybuilding, but like it's not bodybuilding's fault, it's your fault, it's the person you were, it's the way you dealt about the situation. Definitely something in my past was, it was simply just a lack of communication and a lack of maturity at the time, and I blame bodybuilding for that. But kind of I wanted to kind of discuss this because I feel like especially people watch my channel and the kind of the viewership I have, I guess, is a lot more younger individuals who are kind of just starting to get into bodybuilding, and I want to kind of discuss the mistakes that I made when I started bodybuilding, and that's one of the mistakes I made, is I kind of let bodybuilding consume me. I thought it was literally everything in my life. Like for example, if I had a shit session, I genuinely, my whole day was ruined, and that's not a positive thing because you're going to have shit sessions and you can't let that kind of ruin your day. And I definitely did that, and it definitely did tarnish relationships I had. But I'm super grateful now, like now that I have communicated, for example, with my close friends, my close circle, like everyone kind of understands the position I'm in. Like at times I need to be, you know, on the fucking ball with my routine. Like for example, during my pre-prep diet, like I did not miss a beat, and that'll be the same prep. Like I won't have this current freedom, the luxury of having this freedom when I'm in prep, and I know that. So right now I've got like 13 weeks of prep, and I'm just enjoying myself. I'm still ticking the boxes daily. I'm still fucking loving the process. I'm still loving training, but just note that there's more to life than bodybuilding training. And people make mistakes as well when, like, for example, they hop on gear when they're young. They don't realise that, like, the negative health effects it has on them. So that's kind of something I want to discuss, is just, especially if you're younger and you're starting to get into bodybuilding, don't make the mistake I made and think that your whole life needs to evolve around bodybuilding. Like realistically, there's positive and negative to it. I definitely did make a lot of progress having that mindset, because I was literally just so like ADHD about my routine, like everything, like I was on the ball, everything, and that will also have a positive impact. But like there's a good balance you can have. You can still tick the boxes daily, but you can still enjoy life at the same time, you know what I'm saying, still make as much progress. So yeah, that the biggest advice I have for younger people getting into bodybuilding, especially like when they feel like they're different from their current friends, like, and just like how beautiful failure and hardship is and how that makes you a better person. Like I reflect a lot on that actually, and that's kind of something that I wanted to discuss as well, is like you can either learn and grow from your hardships in life, your failures in life, you know, the hard times in your life, or you can let it consume you and make that have a positive impact on you. And I choose to make it have a positive impact on me. Like for example, I'm reflecting on the times that bodybuilding consumed me, but I've also learned from that and I've become a better person. So that's kind of something I want to discuss, a little yap for y'all. Far too deep for 5 minutes into this YouTube video, but like as I said, I've got 13 weeks of prep. I've got some very cool things planned and lined up. I'm travelling around Europe with Josh and Noah. I'm sure you know who those boys are if you're watching this. The natural physique coaching boys. I'm also a part of that now, which is cool. Good luck community that is. But got a meet up in 2 weeks time as well. We'll probably film the lower session on the Friday when we're going down, but probably not the meet up itself, because I kind of just want to enjoy that. But going travelling in Europe, I think I'm doing 7 countries in 2 weeks, and I'm also going to Copenhagen in like 3-4 weeks time with some of the boys as well, which would be pretty cool. So just enjoying life, travelling around before prep starts. Literally just getting as much shit planned with the boys as possible, because when prep starts, I'm going to be fucking like a robot like I am. And as I said, there's times where you have the luxury to be a bit more flexible with your routine. Like right now, I have that kind of luxury, but I'm still making as much progress as possible. Like you can see the YouTube, if you follow my Instagram, you can still see I'm ticking the boxes daily. I'm on my shit, but I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to go over. We'll kind of just go over the push session and stuff. Can I give you a little walkthrough and drop some tips on you as usual? So that is all, boys. We'll give you a little update on myself and stuff as well. I think we're up about 1 kilo from last time I did YouTube. We're getting about 0.2 kg per week. I've got another food increase as of today as well, so I need to kind of put that in my meal plan as well. And we'll get another full day of eating, actually film for you as well, because my food has changed quite a bit and it's got a lot higher. So I think I've had like 4 weeks in a row food increases, and body weight is just slowly going up. So I'm at a very good position right now. We're literally just as lean, if not leaner, than last time you saw me on the YouTube. With just a lot more fullness, more kg, more body weight. It's pretty cool. So we'll get some physique shots post push, and I think that's everything. I shall see you when we're in the gym for push. Right, I lied. We're back with the pre-workout meal. Just thought I'd show you, because I've made quite a few changes to food. Like, as I said, food increase lasting like 4 weeks, so the pre-workout meal has changed. I'm pretty sure the only thing that has changed is the rice, but got 200 gram raw baked sushi rice, 200 chicken, some spring onion, barbecue sauce, salt, and then 50 grams of raisins and 10 grams of dark chocolate macros here. Raisins are better than dates. I don't want to hear any of, it's not even up for debate, it's actually a fact. Raisins are better than dates, so yeah. Anyway, pre-workout meal, going in about 190 carb. I think I'm on like 575 carb in total train days now, and about like, what's that, like 380 pre and post workout nutrition. Realistically, if you have 40 to 50% of your carb intake, daily carb intake around the pre-workout and post-workout window, then that will be sound. But I usually just have a bit more, just to prioritise training as much as possible. So yeah, time for push, let's go. Right, we are in the gym for push. So starting off with biceps is not a push. Actually, so at the start of my session as well, my logbook, I put the date it is, the way it is, and then the week we are in this phase. So week 6, 69.1 kg this morning, and today is the 7th of January, 2025. So first push session of the year going down. So biceps at the start of push, why the hell am I doing that? So I've got biceps start push, triceps at the start of pull, just for more priority. So pretty much your training should match your needs. My arms have definitely grew a lot. They're not really a major weak point like they used to be. They definitely have came up a lot, but definitely could do with a bit more arms pretty much. So biceps at the start of push just makes sense. It doesn't take away from my session, and I can get a lot more out of them doing it at the start compared to the end, for example. I do get a lot more out of them. As well, like I've been running this session for like 5 weeks now. They pretty much just about recover session to session, so I'm literally doing as much frequency as I can, as much volume as I can as well. So literally just doing as much as I possibly can to grow those arms. So yeah, that is the reason for that, starting with single arm bicep curls. Really big fan of these. Alignment's nice, feels really nice. And then we have behind the body cable curls as well, just to hit the biceps from all angles pretty much, is the reason for that. Curl in front, curl behind, and that is us. Then we're on to lat raises, some delts as well at the start. Reason for that is realistically you can never have big enough delts, and if we look at my physique needs, my delts are probably the weakest point in my physique in general, so really prioritising them, doing a lot of volume. Got 3 sets of delts, 2-second pause in the first 2 sets just to spend time in that short range while the delts are fresh, and then we have a rest pause in the final set of the biceps and the delts as well, just for some extra volume there. I was actually listening to a podcast, it was Fuad's podcast. Stefan was in it. If you don't know Stefan's like top Olympian coach, coaches a lot of Olympians, coaches people like James Hollinshead, Martin. He's talking about the skill and importance of actually contracting a muscle and being like intentional within your training, and this is definitely something I have improved my training in the past couple months, especially just being intentional. Like, see when I am, for example, see when I'm doing a hammock curl, like I'm constantly thinking and being intentful of actually using my hamstrings, actually contracting my hamstrings, and it definitely has improved my training a lot, and my physique level as well. So that is something I want to talk about, is intent and the skill of actually contracting a muscle. For example, my chest has always been a kind of strong point in my physique, and that's because I've always just had a good connection with it. To be fair, I just thought I kind of just spam chest, I won't lie. But I've always just had that good connection with it. So that's a big reason why my chest is a stronger body part compared to something like my arms, where I just didn't really get that connection when I first started training. But I've still worked on it now, where I get a really good connection, and I've grew a lot from that. Right, it is the first compound Atlantis incline going. Progressing nicely on this. I think I started this push up on like 4 plates for like 7, and I was on 4 plates plus a 2.5 for 6. So small progressions. Realistically, like your press movements are probably going to be the smallest progressions. Also, that is very person dependent and face dependent, but that is the case for myself. So Leo Hamlin has overtook me. I think last time I filmed the push session, I was like 1 rep ahead. Now he's like 2.5 kg ahead. So realistically, if it's feeling good, I'll put on a little 2.5 each side and just fucking send it. But it's most likely is going to be the case, let's be honest. But I'll just get a bonus of film, but most likely. So add another 2.5 kg for side, so a plus 5 kg increase in total, which is pretty hefty jump for myself. But I am a big fan of this Atlantic cycling machine. It is quite heavy in the shortened position, like it does drop off as we kind of get into that stretch position. So I do kind of, as you can see, kind of like to control that change of direction, like a slight minuscule pause at the bottom there, just control that change of direction, like it's really easy to bounce out the hole in this. So yeah, go on this is just running the fuck up. Really, I'd say 5 plates would be nice before prep, so what, 13 weeks to put on like a play, which is that realistic? Who knows, but we shall just see. Right, Atlantic press went really fucking good. Took this stupid progression, as I was talking about, up 5 kg in total and only down 1 rep, which is really fucking good. I think I'm only 1 rep behind Leo now. Me and Leo are chasing this Atlantic incline. He only has like 20 kg on me, it's fine. I'm really kidding, but yeah, really good fucking progression. Most of it ever took on that Atlantic incline, which is a major win, no matter what the fucking reps go. I'm touching weight I've never touched before, and I only lost a rep. So up 5 kg and down a rep, which is a big progression. Very happy with that. We'll run that up to like 8 reps probably, go for it up weight again. Realistically, we'll probably just get like 6 reps and that again, but if I'm being sensible, probably run that up for a few more weeks, just reps, but very happy with that. 4 plates and a little 5 biscuit there. Now on 3 Nautilus flat press. So this flat press is very heavy in the lengthening, so literally the exact opposite to advanced incline. Realistically, we would prefer, like, we've talked about resistance profiles, we're talking about being optimal and stuff. It being heavy in the lengthen would be pretty ideal, because that's where our muscle, our chest is the strongest in that position, so it makes sense to load it in that position. So I'm a really big fan of this. It is just incredibly heavy, being plate loaded as well in the lengthen, so I would kind of control that change of direction once again. That's a big kind of big tip and advice I would give to you, is making sure you're controlling the change of direction. You're spending time in both ranges. Like there's times for body language momentum, but in most cases just being a little bit more controlled, being intentful, controlling change of direction will really take your training to that next level. So that is the main compound work wrapped up. Very, very successful push session so far. Just got 2 isolation movements left with the chest isolation, pec deck here, and then we have another delt isolation work. Doing 1.5's length of flat raises just because they're hard, that's actually the only reason. 2 sets here, 2 sets there, that drops it at the end, and then do some posing at the end. See how the rig is looking post push, sitting at 69 kg. I'll obviously give an update on myself and stuff, plans for prep, shows and stuff. Actually pretty cool, it's getting pretty exciting. Getting real now, you know what I'm saying, so yeah, just doing the do. So, pec deck, obviously went over this last position, but kind of want to think about just actually not, the biggest mistake I see is people rolling their shoulders forward, almost like making it a hug, and that just takes the focus off the chest on that. Like almost like I literally over exaggerate that chest kind of being puffed out, and just thinking about elbows trying to touch, bringing that bicep over the chest, not thinking about our hands touching, not like this, like that, and you'll be sound, especially towards the end. Actually, people kind of let their form executions slip off, but realistically that's the most effective reps, so your executions just stay stabilised throughout the whole set. As well, you can literally see, like, you can literally see my chest stretching and then contracting. Like, you can literally see it through my top. And that should be the same case for you. You should actually be able to see your chest contract and actually think about contracting. Kind of what I talked about earlier is the intent, and the actual just thought and almost mind muscle connection is such an important factor towards your training and actually growing and actually using the target muscle. Like, for example, what we were talking about earlier as well, my chest is much more dominant than my shoulder, than my delts. So when I do a shoulder press, I will do isolation lat raises, to get blood into the delt, so then when I go into my shoulder pressing, I will actually be able to kind of focus on the delt, because it will be have more blood in it, and I'll get a much better connection pretty much, instead of my chest kind of taking over, because that's why my delts are kind of weaker, because like all my press movements, even like overhead pressing, my chest just does seem to take over. So yeah, that's a little tip for you and something to think about for your own training. Right, boys, we are finishing off where we started. I have recorded this already in the gym, but my mic decided to just not work, which was lovely. So, got the prep timeline up here just so I can be accurate. But where I'm at right now, plans for prep, what shows I'm doing, how exciting. So yeah, we are 13 weeks out from starting prep as of today. This is filmed on Tuesday, and this will be released on Thursday, if you're watching it, obviously, when it comes out. But 13 weeks of prep, 13 weeks on one day, actually, but 13 weeks of prep. And then the first plan show will be 17 weeks in prep. So 13 weeks of prep start, and then we have 28 weeks till the first plan show, which is pretty exciting, which is the PCA Naturals. So we have 5 plan shows, 3 of them as a teen and 2 of them as a junior, because PCA Naturals don't have a teen class, so we will be competing with the big boys then, with the junior class, which will be pretty cool, and I'm actually very excited for that. Just to see, because obviously next time I compete I will be a junior. That will obviously be in a few years' time, taking a long off season to obviously grow, but it'll be really good to kind of see how I look against juniors, how far I'm off being a competitive junior as well, which will be nice as well. There is some absolute freaks competing next year in teens, which will be pretty cool, and that doesn't like scare me. That excites me. Like, I'm excited to see how I look next time and stuff. I'm excited for the competition. So obviously got some of the boys in that natural physique boys competing next year with Mr. Matt Kovacs too, which would be cool. Cyrus as well. Me and Cyrus are on a few shows together, which I know as well, which would be pretty cool to be on stage with the boy. But yeah, so 13 weeks out till prep start, and then 28 weeks till the first plan show, and then we have the main 2 shows, which we are 35 weeks out and 36 weeks out. So that is back-to-back weeks, which is it. So the main 2 shows I'm doing will be the Supernaturals and the UKD Ep.8 finals as a teen, obviously. Those are the kind of main 2 shows that I'm looking to do, and I'm doing the BNBF Scottish as well, which is before them. That's in kind of late August time. So yeah, we'll put pictures up of all of them, the dates and stuff, so you know which ones I'm talking about. And then I'm pretty sure I'm doing PC and Naturals as well the day after my birthday, actually. So no birthday cake for me, unfortunately. It will be Perform Birthday Cake Way. That's what I'll have for my birthday. But yeah, that is a plan for competing and shows that's how kind of far away we are from prep, which would be pretty cool. Excited to document my prep, literally documenting all of it on here and on my Instagram, follow my Instagram if you haven't already. But yeah, so current update on myself. Physique shots, very happy with the physique shots today. Still looking very, very lean. Like, we're pretty much in the exact same body composition. We are currently in the 69 kgs, like 69.3 kg this morning, I believe. Let me just get it up here, just so we are accurate. We are this morning, we are 69.1 kg, sorry. We were 69.3 kg yesterday, so solidified to 69 kgs. Literally increased food the last 4 weeks in a row. Is that 1, 2, 3? Yeah, 4 weeks in a row of increased food, and just seeing body weight slowly climb up. Looking to start prep around 72 to 73 kg. Literally being pretty much as lean as we are now, just fuller, more muscle. And as I said, we are kind of in the same body composition we were when we finished the pre-prep diet, which was obviously like, what, 6-7 weeks ago now. I'm pretty sure we're like 6 weeks into this kind of phase, post pre-prep, which is pretty cool. And things are going really well. Just focused on obviously training performance, and also with more body weight, training performance is kind of started to take, started to pick up a little bit, which is always cool, and it's pretty, it's much more enjoyable, you know, than being on a diet and kind of looking to kind of just hold numbers. Realistically, we are quite lean. Like, we're planning to start prep quite lean. Like, you can see chest striations, quad striations, like the hammy details there, the shaping and glutes is there. Like, we are pretty lean when we're going to start prep lean. That's the plan, just to give us kind of as much time as possible in prep. Like, you realise that you shouldn't start prep from peak bulk. That's just going to be absolute hell and make your prep extremely difficult. The competition I'm starting from is going to allow me to have a much easier prep, hopefully, and allow us to kind of have some spare time to kind of, you know, practice peaks, etc. for shows. It'll just be good. Like, it's always good starting prep as lean as you possibly can, pretty much. So yeah, that's where we're at currently. We are up about 1.5 kg from the end of the pre-prep diet in 6 weeks, so gained about a kg and a half in 6 weeks, which is pretty good, like gaining like 0.2 to 0.3 kg per week, feeling good. Had a kind of unfortunate run of illnesses the past few weeks, but like it sounds like we're back to it. We're off to Derby in 2 weeks' time for the Natural Physique meetup. That is all, boys. That's a push session. Hope you enjoyed. You can let me know what you kind of think of this kind of different style of video, because also it's kind of different, kind of having me like obviously talking while doing the press movements, inspired by Mr. John Jewett, the absolute goat himself. But yeah, that's all, boys. Much love. I shall catch you in the next one. And any questions, just let me know. Comment what you thought of this video, all that jazz. Like, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, catch you next one, boys. Goodbye.